The Season 13 premiere of Blue Bloods is just around the corner, and the upcoming episode promises to be packed with guest stars. Will Hochman, who was introduced back in Season 10 as Joe Hill, will be returning to the Reagan Sunday dinner table. So in today's video, let's discuss how showrunner Kevin Wade has teased more about appearances from Joe throughout the season. First and foremost, the Blue Bloods showrunner teases more appearances from a fan-favorite character. Blue Bloods showrunner Kevin Wade is expected to include Joe a fair amount in the upcoming Season 13, as he told TV Line. In the Season 13 premiere, there are expected to be some crossed wires in an investigation that also ties together with Bridget Moynahan's character, Aaron Reagan, Steven Sciarippa's Anthony Abedmarco, and Danny Reagan, who's played by Donnie Wahlberg. Wade considers Joe to be a wonderful character to write about. Who's a Reagan and who's not a Reagan, pointing out that Joe did not blindly support everything the New York Police Department does. He said that he loved to have a little outlet where he didn't have to be so true blue about the whole thing. Joe was introduced back in Season 10 in the episode Family Secrets, when the Reagans discovered that Frank's eldest son, the late Joe Reagan, had a child with Paula Hill. Ever since then, Joe has made several appearances on the show, including 4 episodes during Season 12. In an interview with Pop Culture earlier this year, Wade said that he and the writers came up with Joe as someone to rock the Reagans' world. They even decided to make Joe a police officer who grew up without direct influence from Frank. Wade explained that he's got to be more like the loose cannon rogue cop, and that the rest really just grew organically from there. More from the new episode. The titles of the first 3 episodes, along with the synopsis of the pilot episode, have been released by the network, which gives a little more insight into the plot of the show. The Season 13 episode, titled Keeping the Faith, also features guest appearances from Stacy Keach and Peter Herman. Keach is set to reprise his recurring role as Archbishop Kearns, who goes undercover with Frank to get an unfiltered look into the city. In a TV Insider interview, Wade said of the storyline that they would visit police precincts, shelters, and bars to get first-hand knowledge of what it's really like out there. Meanwhile, Vanessa Ray's Eddie and Will Estes' Jamie will run into Danny and Baze, portrayed by Marissa Ramirez, when investigating a domestic violence case. Aaron's ex-husband Jack would then show up to offer his help in her campaign for district attorney. Moynahan told TV Insider that she understands the police's frustration, but she knows she'll have to thread the needle. The new episode aired on Friday, October 7th, and is available to stream on Paramount+. The episode was directed by Alex Zagrzowski and written by Kevin Wade and Siobhan Byrne O'Connor. The second episode is titled First Blush and is set to be released on October 14th, 2022, whereas the third episode, Ghosted, is set to be released on October 21st, 2022. All episodes will be released on a weekly basis on CBS and later on other streaming platforms based on viewers' location. Next, the showrunner talks about keeping the drama going without relying on cliffhangers. In teeing up Blue Bloods' new season, showrunner Kevin Wade has no edge-of-your-seat cliffhanger resolutions or whiz-bang stunts to tout, and that's all by the team's own design. Wade noted that they had a prescribed thing that they did, for which he used the technical term, a closed-end procedural, which meant they didn't tell serialized stories, use big cliffhangers, or replace cast members. Many of the tools that long-running shows have, very much to their own credit, they didn't have at our disposal, so they were trying to work with what they had. Heading into its 13th season, what Blue Bloods has is a cast led by Tom Selleck as NYPD Police Commissioner Frank Reagan. The cop drama's aim is to tell fresh stories, though not ripped from the headlines. The performance by Wade makes it clear that they were trying to find another layer to these long-running existing characters that the actor who plays them can sink his teeth into. That's really what they were doing for each of them. As for what to expect in the upcoming season, Blue Bloods is planning on fixing a plot hole that has been driving fans nuts for years. After Janko and Jamie got married in the Season 9 finale, these two characters still worked together at the precinct, despite it not being professionally realistic. But Season 13 will finally address that situation, as Kevin Wade did reveal that while Jamie is set to switch jobs, they'll still be working in the same building. Plus, Blue Bloods boss talks about the upside-down world. Speaking of ripping things from headlines, the indisputable fact is that Blue Bloods in recent years have existed in a very different political climate, one where defund the police, Black Lives Matter, and related sentiments have taken a strong foothold, especially in the wake of the 2020 murder of George Floyd by Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. And while Blue Bloods has broached such topics at times, it has a tougher row to hoe than any other current show on the air, seeing as it's about a family of cops. So to suggest that some bad apples are out there among New York's finest runs the risk of clouding viewers' opinion of the show's protagonists. Wade mentioned that once he embraced this new challenge, challenge, he saw an opportunity, because according to him, the Reagans were sort of the establishment and outliers, trying to do a last century job in a new century where all the rules have been thrown out, and nobody trusts anybody. In true Blue Bloods fashion, viewers can expect a degree of insight into this upside-down world the Reagans now police, offering a POV from both sides and stopping short of any kind of preaching. The showrunner even said that the season premiere takes a look at that distrust, when Stacy Keach's Archbishop Kevin Kern says to Frank, "You and I have lost our flocks. People trust no institutions anymore, so let's go out in the city and find out what it is that people won't say to our faces. Let's see what's out there." Wade asserted that nobody would be tuning in to be taught a lesson or lectured on what the right point of view really is. So when they try to address issues with two very vocal sides to them, they try to build a soapbox of equal dimensions for them, or according to him, an antagonistic point of view. And now for some other related news. Is Tom Selleck leaving the show after season 13? For more than a decade, viewers have been well acquainted with the Reagan family patriarch, Frank Reagan, NYC's longtime police commissioner. Before the show's season 13 renewal, actor Tom Selleck signed a new deal with CBS to remain for another season, ensuring that Frank would not be leaving during this season. Beyond this season, it's unknown what Selleck's future holds, although he doesn't appear to have any sort of intention to depart the show anytime soon. According to TV Insider, when asked if the show would make it to 15 seasons, he simply replied, "I've got a mortgage. I'm game." It's a comfort for fans and appears to be a name shared by many members of the cast as well. While anything might happen between now and then, fans can rest assured that Selleck's character won't be leaving the show in season 13. So viewers can relax and continue watching the show to see their beloved character return to their TV screens. Season 13 will also not feature any major story arcs. The long-running cop procedural Blue Bloods is finally airing its 13th season on CBS. While star Tom Selleck has praised the series' mix of family and procedural as the reason for Blue Bloods' long-term success, the show has another element that sets it apart from other dramas. There aren't as many big story arcs or cliffhangers as you'd expect from a typical primetime drama, and showrunner Kevin Wade has also emphasized this point from time to time. Ahead of the season 13 premiere, Wade spoke to TV Line to preview what to expect from the new episodes. While many dramas and procedurals like to have cliffhangers and cast changes every once in a while, Blue Bloods doesn't really find it necessary to have these types of twists. Going into the 13th season, it seems to be working well in their favor. Lastly, the Blue Bloods schedule for season 13. It's nice to know that 13 seasons in, Blue Bloods is still keeping consistent with storylines and doesn't feel the need to make extremely drastic changes. The series is keeping its Friday night time slot, but now gets some new primetime partners on CBS when SWAT and Fire Country join for CBS's 2022 fall schedule. The show has kept steady on Fridays for a while now, and that probably won't be changing even with some new blood. And that's a wrap for this video. What did you think of the Blue Bloods showrunner hinting at more appearances from a fan favorite character? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.